So right now, we're going to wrap up Psalm 44, which means we'll start a new psalm tomorrow. And by the way, if you would like to email me a suggested psalm, I have a list that I keep, and we make sure we work through those requested by our viewers and listeners. So email me, pastor@ebcnewington.com. Well, look at the last verse of this psalm, and I'll tell you what I'd like to do today. I'd like to read the whole thing one more time. So join me in Psalm 44:1. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us, what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand, and plantest them, how thou didst afflict the people, and cast them out. For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast a favor unto them. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Selah. First 8 verses, God, you're great. We've heard you're great. We're going to trust you. You're our only hope. There's gospel all the way through this psalm. I hope you're catching it. But look at verse 9. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame. Goest not forth with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for nothing, and dost not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by reason of the enemy and avenger. So up to verse 16, I am just confused, perplexed, ashamed, frustrated. God, where have you been? You've let me down. You've let us down. You've forsaken us. Verse 17, all this is come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. In other words, it's not because of sin, and we're not going anywhere. We're not going to forget you. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death, if we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and forgettest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. So up to this point, I'm as low as I could possibly be. I'm as humiliated. I'm as ashamed and as broken. I've hit rock bottom. It can't get any worse. God, you are my only hope. And this is where the gospel comes through again one more time in the last verse of this psalm. Look at verse 26, and this is where we land today. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. Boy, does this psalmist understand the heart of God in the situations of life. So let's first look at the gospel view of this. I can't have a relationship with God on my own. I can't earn it. I can't achieve it. I can't trust in myself or any of my own strategies. I can't get to him because I'm as low in sin and guilt and shame as I can possibly be. And no one can come to God on the merits of their own righteousness or their own goodness or their own strength. No, it's not until you realize you are hopeless, you are destitute, you're belly down on the dust of the earth. You just can't stand in God's presence. Then, when you hit bottom, you are ripe. You are a prime candidate for salvation because God can't save anybody that isn't willing to admit their weakness, their sinfulness, their brokenness, and their destitution before him. So the psalmist from belly down on the earth says, God, you must arise And I need your help. You can't be saved if you don't understand God has to be the Savior. God has to be the hero. And only He can really help you. And then look at this next phrase, and redeem us. Redemption. This is what salvation is. It's God taking me in my weak, broken, fallen, sin-sick, guilty state, in His mercy, arising as the victorious, riding into the battle Savior, reaching into the jaws of death, going into the jaws of death on the cross, riding out of the empty tomb, victorious, triumphant, as my help, okay, with redemption in hand. Redeem us, restore me, bring me back, buy me back, recover me, save me. Redeem us. Why? Here it is again. For thy mercy's sake, not because I'm good, not because I'm valuable in and of my own merit, not because I bring my goodness to the table or I have so much to offer you, God. No. For the only sake, the only reason for God to redeem me is His mercy. Okay? Do you see the abject helplessness of the one who needs to be saved and the overflowing strength, power, grace, and mercy, the victory and the mercy of redemption, that meet together to form redemption. Arise for our help. That's the victory. For thy mercy's sake, that's the heart of compassion and love. God, my strong Savior, redeeming me. Okay? So my friend, if you've never called out to Jesus to be your Savior, your Redeemer, you need a Redeemer. You can't redeem yourself. In the eyes of God, you're guilty, you're fallen, hopelessly so, unless God arises to be your help and your Redeemer. That's the gospel view of Psalm 44. But you know what? I don't mean to create a dichotomy when I say this. When I say there's a gospel view, I'm speaking to the essence of salvation. The gospel view continues to carry us forward. Every day in our Christian journey, we are weak, He is strong. We are bad, He is good. We are broken, He is our healer. We are lost, He finds us. I bring nothing to the table, but He confers value upon me. I'm valuable to Him because He says I'm valuable, because He has set His love on me. That's the value that I have. So I can know every day of my life that God is going to hear my prayer, even from my lowest places, that God is eventually going to arise and prove Himself to be my helper, my strong Savior, my Redeemer. He's going to show up over and over and over in my life. Why? For His mercy's sake. He is a merciful God. I am always the object of His mercy. And His mercy is infinite. He is always baptizing me, inundating me, immersing me in an unending flow of mercy. His mercies are new every morning. Wow, this is mind-blowingly encouraging, okay? God is my help. He will arise. He will redeem because He is merciful. So the overarching psalm is as a person and a nation who have experienced defeat, perplexed, confused, shamed, frustrated by their defeat, but they are resolving, they're resting, they're trusting, they're waiting, and they know that one day God will arise, and He will help them, and He will redeem them. So my friend, don't give up on God. He will never give up on you. And He is truly your only hope and my only hope. And so if we give up on God, we are absolutely hopeless. So my friend, don't give up on Him. He will never give up on you. He is trustworthy. His heart is good. His mercy is infinite. And you can enjoy this day, ride out into battle in this day, knowing that He goes with you and His mercy is new every morning. Happy Tuesday. And I hope you enjoyed Psalm 44 as much as I did. We'll see you tomorrow.